Hello YouTube, this is Al coming to you once again for Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. But I really thought I really wanted to make a part 2 to the video that I had made on Tilikum, my 16 hours with Tilikum. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because I'd like to thank everybody who watched the video, and hopefully you're tuning in for this one too. But it's my most successful video that I've ever really done. The Elvis video was pretty popular too, but this one has gotten so many comments and so many emails that I just thought I wanted to do one more video on it just to kind of close it out and kind of like my final word on Tilikum and SeaWorld and the whole situation. Now, if you haven't watched the first video, just a brief synopsis. I was a security guard who worked for SeaWorld, and I got to guard Tilikum for 16 hours and got to be very close with him in terms of proximity. And he actually swam up to the top of the tank where he was being held, a holding tank at the time, and made eye contact with me. And I had done this other video just because I wasn't sure about his state of mind, and I wasn't sure about what was going through his head. And of course, no one will ever really truly know that. But one wonders why he would turn on a person, Dawn Branchow, who loved him so much, who spent so much time with him. But in the ensuing time of making that video, I've received a lot of comments, I've received a lot of videos, and some of them are from people who actually spent a lot of time with Tilikum and who knew him very, very well in terms of like training him, being around him, feeding him. And I guess, the whole bottom line to the whole thing is that Tilikum was very aggressive. One particular person who sent me an email, who's of high credibility, told me that when I'm not going to say what gender he or she was, but when this particular person started working for SeaWorld, they told this person that Tilly, as he was called, Tilikum, which means freedom. It means kind of like the native people of like the northeastern, like Eskimo people. It means like a gathering of people or friends. That's what Tilikum means. But his nickname was Tilly, based off of that name. And they told this person that Tilly is a lion, and that if you go in the water with him, they'll be retrieving your dead body. So based on that, we could surmise and realize through all the incidences of Tilikum that he was very, very aggressive. And it's also a very sad thing because Tilikum was taken out of the ocean. So who do we have to blame? I mean, we know this whole thing about SeaWorld, that they made a lot of money off of this. So I want to try to also, in closing, because to me, like, Tilikum died, it'll be a year in January. He died in January 2017. And I just want to close this out. And I really don't want to do any more videos on this because I think it's time to let this situation rest. But as I say, I wanted to do a final comment on it because it was such a popular video and had gotten such a response to it. I want to just say what I really feel, because working for SeaWorld, and again, it was a fantastic place to work. It is a fantastic place to work. And I do have visions of going back to Florida because we had lived there for 5 years. And I do want to head back down there again one day. As much as I love New York, I love Florida too. And I would possibly work for them again. Because only for the simple reason that people can look at SeaWorld and say, and this is by no way, shape, or form a huge defense of SeaWorld, but I want to say that even though if you watch the movie Blackfish, it talks about how bad Tilikum was treated and he was in a small bathtub situation, you have to realize that the first place that Tilikum came from, which was Sealand in Ontario, was not even a theme park. It was just like a roped in, it was at the ocean. And they just got a rope and they roped in different areas for the animals. And Tilikum, at night, they didn't want people to steal him, so they put him in this extremely small and dark cramped area of water, and it was like being in a little tiny tent. It was horrible, and that's probably what drove him crazy to begin with, other than being captured. So, like I said, this is no way, shape, or form a huge defense for SeaWorld, but I just wanted to say that I worked there I picked up a lot of shifts in SeaWorld as a security guard, and as security, we were able to go pretty much anywhere we wanted throughout the park. And I saw, and I'm a kind of guy, everyone knows I'm a storyteller, and I love to connect with people, and I made a lot of connections with people in my time at SeaWorld, and I will tell you 100%, these people love the animals who work there. Dedication, unbelievable dedication, whether they're working with the penguins or the walruses or the dogs and the cats in Pets Ahoy show. All of those dogs and cats have been adopted and rescued by SeaWorld. Just an amazing situation. And you know what? Probably at the top of every organization, there's a lot of money being made. And I worked for Disney, and it's obviously the same thing. You know, you go to work for these companies, and you have such passion and such love. And I'm sure there's someone up there, you know, I'm taking advantage of the people who are in the trenches, so to speak. But I have to emphasize that the people who work there really, really love these animals, and they spend a lot of time in school, and they have this so much dedication that they put in. You look at someone like Dawn, who loved Tilikum, and nobody else really went in the water with him but her. And what's the final word on this that I could say after reading all the emails and working there and experiencing different things myself, was that Dawn let down her guard. She just like for me, Tilikum made eye contact with me. He looked at me. I always loved animals my entire life, and I said to myself, wow, maybe there's a connection here. And I think she did the same thing, and because she was around him so much, she really forgot how brutal he could be, and how he something at the top of the food chain, the way the orca is. There's no one higher than the orca in the ocean. They're at the top. Nobody's a match for them, whether it be a shark or anything. Doesn't matter. So I guess when you have all that power under you, that's what this animal was. And even though they say he was mistreated and stuff, I don't know. I didn't see it there, but by how he brutally and fatally killed her, there had to have been something, a lot of anger in this animal for him to do that. And after hearing all these confirmations, I just wanted to do this video and just close this out as kind of like a final word. But I just wanted to be honest and truthful and say, even though SeaWorld has made, there's going to be no more breeding of these animals, thank heavens, and the ones that are in captivity, that's going to be the end of it. But I do have to say that as bad as it was probably having these animals in captivity, some of them were rescued and such, that there also was a lot of inspiration given out. How many people went on to become veterinarians? We're never going to know that. Became veterinarians, or became techs to work with animals, or maybe dog groomers who went to SeaWorld, who got inspired by just being so close to these magnificent animals. So I think there was good that came from it. I think sometimes we don't see the good because of the situation. We look at the one big bad thing that happened, but we have to also remember that Dawn died doing what she loved. And I had met her once or twice in the cafeteria, not really directly, indirectly, and it seemed to me she loved doing what she did, and I'm sure everyone could echo this, and they have echoed it. And so I guess if all of us have a choice to go in a certain way, I guess it's best to go doing a thing that you love, which is, even though it was brutal, it's what she wanted to do. So, like I say, this is my final word on the subject and Tilikum. I really thank you folks for tuning in to my video. Please send me some comments. Tell me what you think. And once again, thank you so much for making it my most popular video. And I hope to inspire people. I hope I inspire people by doing this video. Maybe to start their own channel, or even to work at SeaWorld or Disney or whatever other thing that you want to do. So folks, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Stay magical, stay hopeful, stay positive, and do what you love. Have a great night, folks. Bye-bye.